let's just a wonderful opportunity to have Amartya Sen, a Nobel Laureate from Bengal, yet another from Bengal. Uh, so thank you very much for joining us, Professor Sen. You know, cyclones seem to be hitting the Indian Ocean with greater frequency and greater intensity than before. How does one prepare for these kind of natural disasters? And how does one help the people who are suffering most on the ground?
But there are two levels of suffering. There is an immediate problem of survival, shelter, eating, the food and water. There's also that once the cyclone is gone, they would have destroyed the fields, the animal. So, for those who live by animal herding, and untold damages in the cultivating field. So there is a capital problem, and there is an immediate survival problem, and it's quite important to pay attention to both.
Professor Sen, to fight this crisis, Cyclone Amphan, the state of Bengal needs cooperation and help from the centre. This is the time for political differences and all sorts of other differences to go away, right? The centre and the state just must come together.
When, to be quite frank, there are issues of political elections coming in West Bengal, in which the ruling party at the center and the ruling party in Bengal will be the main rivals. And that rivalry also reflects a little, or more than a little, in the ease with which the help from the center becomes forthcoming for the help of the state. Now, this is a central problem of federalism, and India is a federal country, even though we tend to forget it from time to time. But it's something that should be addressed, I believe, frankly and clearly, and without any attempt to hide that there is a certain amount of concern at the state level about how much the central help is coming, how easily, and so forth.
That's actually a very, very important point, that this is our test of federalism. In a crisis like this, when we look back, and those who indulge in politics and didn't stick to the federal system will be remembered for negatively. I just want to ask you one more question on something personal. You know, as a youngster, you were known and must have been lingering and browsing the hundreds of small bookstores on College Street. The cyclone has destroyed that College Street bookstores totally. I'm sure you will support initiatives like this and what the Bengal government is doing to build those small bookstores again. And we just for you to spend time, and many of us to spend time in those bookstores once they are revived.
Those ones, yeah. And they're really quite remarkable. I have even been able to get quite difficult books through them. And of course, the bookshops are very good too in that respect. And of course, when I was a student in Presidency College, and also later when I was teaching in Jadavpur University, I spent a lot of time with my books, if I may describe it like that, in between Presidency College and the coffee house on the other side of the road. And these are parts of my life which when they're destroyed, I have to weep with them, because these are really part of my own existence and given me the sense of belonging, the sense of being at my home when I am amidst this bookshop. And I was really very saddened to learn that they have taken a huge amount of loss from the storm.
We will get them back for you. You will be back in those bookstores browsing and, as usual, lost in another world. That's a promise.
Okay. I hope that's a promise for now.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Professor Sen, for joining us.
Yes, thank you very much.